I'm Allendale's Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. We're starting to see better shower and thunderstorm initiation along a frontal boundary in the central plains across Kansas. We're seeing a few thunderstorm echoes pop up. Low pressure is starting to come together and organize there, and this is going to be the seed that plants moisture across the region there in the next 24, 36, 48 hours or so. Moisture holding on with just a little bit of a relentless push over parts of the Corn Belt. You know, there was a batch of scattered light shower action across Illinois, and it's been able to expand a little bit. So this overrunning is a little bit stronger than even I expected going forward. Clouds, that's not something that was too big of a deal. We figured there'd be some clouds, but the moisture that's being spawned in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, a little bit surprising. Means we're going to be looking at some harvest delays here. High pressure, though, is settling in over south central parts of Minnesota, north central Iowa. And so we should see that high eventually push all of this moisture back down to the south. So if you can get through this, you're probably looking at a good 3-4 days of drier weather. Missouri in line to pick up good rains, and Arkansas will pick up some heavier rains here too over the next 2 days. The next front that comes across the country still looks like it wants to move in on Sunday. Models are really zeroing in on that. Doesn't look quite as impressive over some parts of the region, but down Arkansas, lower Missouri, and then across the Mississippi into places like Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah, there could be some decent rains there. I'm seeing a few 3-inch bands that try and pop up. I don't think this is going to be super problematic, as the heaviest rains like that stay out of areas that we're really trying to get harvest done on a grand scale. But still, that front will sweep across the rest of the Corn Belt. I'm looking for coverage about 70 to 80%. Rain totals Corn Belt wide, let's say 1/2 to 2 inches. If there's a place that gets missed out, we kind of touched on this morning in our online write-up. It will be the upper Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe northern Iowa. Those are the places that are not as likely to see rain, or at least the heavier rain. We should be dry then for most of the rest of next week. Models are not wavering on that either. Where it gets a little interesting is in the extended forecast. The GFS definitely looks wetter, and I don't really want to hop on that bandwagon. I like one front coming through around the 19th into the 20th, 21st. That looks like a good window there. What I'm questioning actually is a secondary front around the 24th, 25th. Really looks to me like we're going to try and have some ridging come in during that time frame, which would take moisture out of the equation. So I guess I'm not a big believer in the extended GFS, but then again, I'm not a believer in the GFS often anyway. European solution looks very good here nearby with these rains that we can count on going through. The other thing you got to kind of look at is temperatures. We're going to see temperatures ride the roller coaster a bit going forward. As we move through the weekend, we should see a lot of warmer air trying to push back north. Then that front comes through early next week, drops our temperatures a bit for midweek. Then we'll see big ridging again late next week into the following week, right ahead of that front, the 19th and 20th. What I am seeing on both models, the European and the American model, is a nice big push of super cold air immediately after that front, the 19th into the 20th. So we could see a nice quick hit of some pretty chilly air there for the morning of, say, the 21st, maybe even the morning of the 22nd. And that will extend all the way down to the Ohio River Valley. And then I think we pull out of it fairly quick, because we are seeing ridging happen over the western third to the middle of the country. We're also seeing a much more active pattern hitting the west coast. That will bode well for starting to get us into a more active storm pattern heading into early winter. So moisture may be able to start working into central California where the drought is happening, but I'm looking at the pattern out there getting more active, telling us more about what can come into the plains in the weeks ahead. I think we should start to plan for a little bit better moisture coverage in the plains as we finish out October and go into November. That's just what the pattern is looking like. In the meantime, not much of any other kind of change. South America still looks, well, pretty much as we've been calling it. A couple more fronts coming through Argentina will put down decent moisture. The south and southeastern part of Brazil gets great rain. Little concerned about central north Argentina, the soybean belt there, but we are seeing some rains around the 19th, 20th, and on through the 23rd, trying to sneak in, especially into Mato Grosso. That is the big soy producer down there. So we're not giving up yet. The trade is paying attention to some dryness down there, but right now we don't think it's a serious problem. It's just something we're watching. We definitely want to see the rainier season start to kick off here sooner rather than later. That's what we've got in your forecast at midday. If you've got any questions, give us a shout at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.